welcome back to Fox 43 AM Live.
Today's book of the week comes from Emily Bays with the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library.
Settle in for a classic tale, especially as we get ready for a new Netflix movie based on this fantasy world. Check it out. Well, I'm back here at the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library. It's time for the book of the week. Today we're talking about The Magician's Nephew, a classic.
Yeah, this is the first book in the Chronicles of Narnia series. It's interesting because it is not the first book that was published.
Yeah.
The first book that was published was The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But this is the book that is first chronologically. It's almost like a bit of a prequel. It kind of tells what happened before the Pevensies, the four main characters, the Chronicles of Narnia in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It's the story of how their portal to Narnia came to be, because like they go through a wardrobe, and this is kind of the story of the wardrobe.
That's right. It's been, I read the Chronicles of Narnia when I was much younger, and I remember I fallen in love with the series. So it's great to kind of chat about this again and revisit the world of Narnia.
Yeah.
And maybe you might have a better recommendation. Do you recommend reading The Magician's Nephew first, despite like it not being published, the first publication of the series, but being the first chronologically?
I usually, when I reread the series, I read them in the publication order.
Okay.
So I read Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, Prince Caspian, Voyage of the Dawn Treader, and then Magician's Nephew, then Horse and His Boy, then The Last Battle. So that's my preferred reading order, but I am probably one of the very few who reads them in that particular order. Most people just prefer chronologically or, you know.
I can understand that. And I think we were talking a little bit earlier, Netflix are working on a new Narnia series, which I think The Magician's Nephew is going to be the first story that they're focusing on this time around. So definitely you want to check this one out to kind of get a refresher course on the world of Narnia. For the viewers, remind us what the whole story was. You said it's kind of about building the portals that we see, like the wardrobe. What else is going on in the story?
Yeah, so this is actually kind of the story of how Narnia came to be. It's a story of how the White Witch kind of had her origin story. It's a story of how Aslan sang his creation song that kind of makes Narnia. It's the story of how Diggory, who eventually becomes the professor in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, it's about how he gets to Narnia. And at the very end of the book, I won't spoil what happens, but this apple, he plants it and it grows into a tree and it becomes the wardrobe.
So many memories are flooding back into me now. This is wonderful. So I'm so glad you recommended this one. I cannot wait to possibly dive back into the world of Narnia one of these days. Thank you so much for sharing with us and recommending.
Yeah.
And everyone, please check it out right here at the Topeka and Shawnee County Public Library, Magician's Nephew.